You not only overcame difficulties, you walked through the darkness and rebuilt the light. Every power that tried to silence you, to suppress you, was helpless against you. Satan stood against you, but you did not retreat. You turned him to dust. You defeated him with your truth. This is no longer a secret. You are the chosen one. Your presence is not just an answer. It is a challenge, a call, a revolution. Everyone sees it now. The darkness could not overcome you because you are already the bearer of a mission from the heavens. This video tells not just a story, but the power of your spirit, how a divine warrior rose up. Satan made plans, ambushes, but you destroyed those plans in one single move. Your stance will be an encouragement not only to you, but to everyone watching. If you are ready, write 77 in the comments and let's relive that moment together. That sacred moment when you threw the devil into eternity. In a world where accountability was expected, a distinguished figure observed from the periphery as you were wrongfully condemned before a vast assembly. For what felt like an eternity, egregious wrongs unfolded. Innocents were judged without proof, assets confiscated on baseless accusations, and dissent was smothered with precision. Those entrusted with power, despite their vast influence, chose to mute their voices. Driven by a paralyzing fear of losing status, fortune, and the comforts of the familiar, they locked their lips and huddled in self-preservation. They convinced themselves that waiting for the right moment to speak up was a wise strategy. But that moment has long slipped away. As the public arena drew scrutiny from far and wide, with reporters and critical onlookers turning their gaze upon them, these supposed guardians of justice shrank back into obscurity. Now, the very structure they once upheld with their silence is rebelling against them, its relentless force poised to claim them as victims of their own neglect, leaving behind only the bitter resonance of their unspoken complicity. Behind closed doors, where truth should have been the currency of power, they willingly entered into unholy alliances with those who wrecked lives. Their secret meetings, shrouded in pretense and false camaraderie, were not born of ignorance, but of a deliberate choice to ignore the suffering around them. They witnessed every act of exploitation, every calculated ploy to undermine dignity, yet their voices remained locked away in silent agreement. In every instance where the chance to uplift the oppressed presented itself, they clutched their own self-interest like a lifeline. Each moment of silence added a weighty burden to their souls, a debt of moral neglect that now follows them like an ever-present shadow in their quiet moments. Their inaction was not a mere lapse. It was an intentional decision that has etched deep, irreversible scars on the fabric of their character. Silence is far from a passive state. It is an active decision that carries a profound cost. In choosing not to speak when injustice reared its head, they allowed a slow, corrosive decay to infiltrate their very being. By withholding their voice, they became complicit in the darkness they once vowed to oppose. Now, they are ensnared in a vicious cycle of avoidance and spiritual deterioration. Every opportunity they ignored to champion the truth has compounded into an unpayable debt, a legacy of neglect that will echo through their lives in moments of quiet despair. The ever-persistent truth hovers at the edges of their existence, ready to confront them with the full measure of what they failed to act upon. In stark contrast to their crumbling silence stand those exceptional souls who dared to break free from the chains of inaction. Picture individuals whose lives defied the ordinary, a visionary who abandoned the dark influences of a former cult, a disciplined former soldier who harnessed the power of focused intent, or a brilliant financial seer who predicted shifts in global markets before they unfolded. These remarkable figures discovered their calling within a sacred fellowship where hidden wisdom is shared freely among kindred spirits. They heeded the divine call, stepped into their power, and forged connections with others who share the weight of profound gifts and burdens. Their synchronicities were not random. They were the deliberate orchestration of destiny. When souls of such caliber come together, even the highest realms take notice, for true unity dismantles corruption from within. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now, share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. This was never a mere circumstance. It was a sacred challenge, a cosmic trial cloaked in discomfort. Those in positions of power were not meant to merely safeguard their own interests, but to rise as champions of justice. Yet, when the call came, they chose the comfortable path of inaction. They failed to disrupt the cycle that would expose the festering corruption beneath the surface. Instead of stepping forward to right the wrongs, they shuttered their doors and hid behind feigned excuses, their calculated retreat sealing their fate. Their silence, a conscious betrayal of their higher purpose, now condemns them, chaining them to a system they once vowed to dismantle. And while you confront injustice with fearless resolve, their crushing inaction becomes the very weight that drags them down. In the midst of this moral decay, you have borne your truth with a courage that cannot be silenced. Though you faced targeted betrayal and relentless adversity, you emerged not as a shattered spirit, but as one refined by fire. Every instance of silence, from those who should have been your allies, only illuminated your path more clearly. Their failure to act revealed their true nature, a silence that is not protection, but a condemnation that will haunt them until they atone. Meanwhile, you continue to move forward in unwavering clarity, elevated by the very trials they dared not confront. Your journey stands as a resounding testament to the transformative power of speaking truth, inspiring all who seek to break free from the cycle of inaction. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Now is the moment to seize your destiny with resolute determination. Step forward with a head held high, for your every stride is a proclamation of freedom and justice. The universe meticulously records every deed and every omission, and it is now balancing the scales in your favor. You are the chosen one, a radiant force that disrupts the tyranny of silence and ignites the flame of change. Your legacy is not defined by the quiet cowardice of others, but by the bold truth you live and breathe. Embrace this era of divine retribution and let your voice, even if it remains unspoken, in moments of grace, echo as a beacon of hope and transformation. The time has come to rise, to reclaim what is rightfully yours, and to lead by example in a world that desperately needs a champion of truth. You are not meant to simply exist on the sidelines. You are destined to rise above every challenge. In a moment that tested the very fabric of our shared humanity, those who held the power to act chose instead to retreat into comfortable silence. While you were wrongfully blamed in front of a vast assembly, a steady current of injustice flowed unchecked. People were condemned without proof. Possessions were seized on baseless claims, and any voice of dissent was carefully smothered. Those in authority, more worried about protecting their status and wealth than upholding what is right, locked their lips and justified their inaction as strategic patience. They believed that waiting for the perfect moment would eventually grant them the moral high ground. Yet when the eyes of the world, scrutinizing from distant regions and through the lens of the media, turned to them, they faltered and melted away into the background. Now the very structure they once fortified with their silence is turning against them, and the system they helped maintain is poised to exact a heavy toll, leaving them with nothing but the echo of their own failure. While behind closed doors, they willingly entered into secret alliances and made deals with those who brought ruin to the innocent. You witnessed it all. In private halls steeped in deceit, they exchanged gestures of false solidarity with those who shattered lives, all while pretending to care. This was no accident of ignorance. It was a deliberate choice to ignore the truth. Every moment when the chance to speak up was there, they clung to their personal comfort as if it were life itself. In doing so, they added an unbearable burden to their souls, a debt of silence that now weighs on them, haunting their nights and darkening their days. Their careful avoidance, chosen time and again, is not a harmless pause, but a calculated action that has imprinted deep wounds upon their moral core, wounds that will persist until they are forced to confront the cost of their indifference. Silence, far from being an empty void, has become their chain, a chain that binds them to the very injustice they allowed to thrive. By choosing not to act when they saw clear wrongdoing, they have not only compromised their integrity, but have also marked themselves for the consequences of their neglect. Their quiet compliance has set in motion a cycle of spiritual decay that will inevitably return to them with relentless force. Every unspoken word, every missed opportunity to defend the truth, has accumulated into a legacy of regret that no title, no power, and no wealth can ever wash away. The truth is patient and unstoppable. It lingers in the background, ready to confront them with the full measure of their inaction. In a world where many have succumbed to the lure of comfort and allowed their voices to be stifled by fear, you have chosen a different path. While those around you clung to the safety of inaction, paralyzed by the prospect of losing status, wealth, and social favor, you rose above the fray. You refused to let the oppressive chains of silence bind you. Instead of letting the hurt of betrayal break your spirit, you allowed it to refine you, much like precious metal purified by fire. Every moment of quiet inaction from those who were meant to stand with you only deepened your resolve, clarifying your purpose and setting your course with divine precision. Their choice to remain mute was not an accident. It was a calculated decision, a deliberate turning away from the responsibility to act. In their hearts, the fear of losing what they held dear outweighed the call to defend what was right. They convinced themselves that by waiting, by enduring in silence, they were protecting themselves from the potential fallout of challenging an unjust system. But in doing so, they unknowingly sowed the seeds of their own downfall. The very system they once bolstered with their complacency is now reaping the bitter fruits of their inaction. Their silence has become a heavy burden, a sentence that will cling to their souls until they are forced to confront the moral cost of their choices. While they huddled in the shadows of their own self-interest, you marched forward in the light of truth. Every betrayal you endured, every moment when the world chose silence over justice, served only to fortify your spirit and illuminate the path ahead. You have proven that true strength is not measured by the volume of one's outcry, but by the steadfast integrity of a soul that refuses to compromise its values. Your journey is a living testament to the transformative power of courage and the divine assurance that comes from standing firmly for what is right, even when it is easier to remain quiet. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Your unwavering commitment to honesty has exposed the true nature of those who chose to remain silent. Their inaction is not a neutral pause, but an active choice that has left an indelible mark upon their very essence. In every instance where they withheld their voice, they have added to a legacy of regret, a legacy that the universe will not soon forget. The truth has a way of surfacing, of gathering strength until it cannot be ignored, and your steadfast presence has become the mirror in which their own failures are reflected. As the scales of divine justice begin to tip in favor of truth, every suppressed word and every ignored cry for help comes back to them as a weight too heavy to bear. Like a soaring eagle rising above a turbulent storm, your spirit now commands the horizon of a new day. In the radiant aftermath of your trials, you have become a living beacon for every soul willing to shatter the bonds of complacency. Your presence is like a clarion trumpet for those awakened to the truth, a powerful reminder that living with integrity is the strongest form of resistance in a world that often hides in silence. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Your life, carefully molded by hardships and refined in the quiet furnace of adversity, now stands as an everlasting testament to what can be achieved when fear is refused permission to rule. Every betrayal you encountered, every moment when those who should have defended the innocent chose to remain mute, has only forged your resolve into an unbreakable shield. What might have crushed others has, in your case, become the very catalyst for your triumph, a glorious transformation that illuminates your path and inspires others to rise. As you journey forward, you embody the promise that true strength is born not in the clamor of empty words, but in the silent power of unwavering conviction. Your actions, though seemingly quiet, have shattered the illusions of those who doubted you. They see now that your steadfast heart and unyielding dedication have built a foundation that no false comfort or deceit can ever undermine. The universe itself takes note of such profound resilience, ensuring that every misdeed and every instance of neglect by the unresponsive only adds to the weight of their own downfall. Today, your light shines so brightly that it calls forth a new generation of courageous souls, those ready to reject the lure of inaction and embrace the liberating power of truth. You stand as a reminder that when one person dares to live boldly, the ripples of that choice create waves of transformation across the world. Step confidently into this new era, knowing that your spirit, honed by experience and blessed by divine favor, is the guiding star for a future where justice, hope, and grace prevail. As you continue to move forward, step into each new day with the confidence that comes from knowing your worth. Embrace the abundant future that lies before you, a future that is defined not by the failures of others, but by your own unyielding commitment to justice. The universe meticulously records every deed and every omission, and in its perfect ledger, your truth is inscribed in bold, indelible letters. Let the memory of their silence fuel your passion and drive your mission, for every unspoken word from them has only amplified the brilliance of your light. Imagine a towering redwood standing in the heart of a vast, open valley, its mighty trunk unwavering, its branches reaching toward the sky in quiet majesty. Today, you step forward like that ancient sentinel, reclaiming your destiny with fearless determination. You don't need to bellow your truth into the chaos. Your very presence speaks with the authority of a divine proclamation. In the grand mosaic of life, your journey is intricately woven with vibrant threads of resilience, hope, and a purpose bestowed by the heavens. Every stride you take is a living testament to the transformative power of living authentically, and it boldly challenges those who choose to hide behind a facade of silence. For too long, others have cowered in the shadows of their own timidity, afraid to disrupt the status quo or disturb the comfortable lies they've built their lives upon. Their silence was never a mark of wisdom. It was a surrender, a choice to remain complicit in the injustice of inaction. But you, dear one, have risen above that murky complacency. In every hardship and every trial, you have discovered that true strength is not measured by the loudness of your voice, but by the quiet power of unwavering integrity. You have transformed betrayal into the fuel that propels you upward, refining your spirit like precious gold tested in the hottest furnace. Now, as you boldly embrace the new day, remember this: you are not defined by the failures of those who chose self-preservation over righteousness. Their silence, their unwillingness to speak up for what is right, has only served to magnify the brilliance of your inner light. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, records every act and every omission, and the balance is shifting in your favor. Every moment they kept quiet adds weight to their own legacy of regret, while every step you take radiates a message of hope and renewal to all who are watching. Your journey is like a symphony composed by divine hands, a harmonious blend of trials and triumphs that crescendo into a masterpiece of liberation and renewal. Each note, whether a sorrowful lament or a jubilant exultation, contributes to the magnificent anthem of your life. You are the chosen one, whose spirit has been refined through adversity, whose every breath is a declaration of faith, and whose very existence challenges the darkness to yield. In your quiet strength, you have become a beacon of light that guides the lost out of the depths of despair, illuminating a path toward a future where justice and truth reign supreme. Consider the many who once stood silent, paralyzed by their own fears of losing what little power they clung to, those who believed that staying mute would shield them from the consequences of speaking out. Their silence was not neutral. It was a choice that betrayed the divine responsibility entrusted to them. And now, as the scales of cosmic justice tip ever more in your favor, the void left by their inaction becomes a testament to their failure to act. Their legacy is one of missed opportunities, of lives left unprotected, and of a spiritual debt that will follow them like a shadow until they are forced to confront the truth of their choices. But you have chosen a different path. You have taken the high road, paved with integrity, courage, and unwavering determination. Your heart, aligned with the eternal pulse of divine love, beats with a rhythm that transforms every obstacle into an opportunity for growth. Every challenge you faced, every betrayal you endured, has not broken you, but has polished you into a radiant diamond, an unbreakable symbol of truth that reflects the light of the Almighty. Your resilience is a testament to the promise that when one lives with purpose, no force in this world can extinguish that inner fire. As you continue to stride forward, your journey becomes a rallying cry, a powerful call for all those brave enough to reject the allure of complacency and the false comfort of silence. Your life is an open book of hope and liberation, written in the language of divine favor and insurmountable perseverance. You inspire others to stand tall, to speak their truth, even when it would be easier to remain muted, and to embrace the incredible power that comes from living in alignment with the highest good. The legacy of your actions resounds far beyond the boundaries of your immediate world. It echoes in the hearts of every soul longing for justice and renewal. Today, you reclaim your destiny with a spirit that is as unyielding as the rising sun, steadfast, relentless, and magnificent in its clarity. You have been refined by adversity, and your light now burns brighter than ever before. Let this be a reminder to all who watch that true power is not found in loud declarations or ostentatious displays. It is found in the quiet conviction of a heart that stands firm in its beliefs. Step forward into the new day, knowing that your every step, every silent act of resistance, and every moment of courage has carved a path toward a future filled with divine promise. The universe is aligned in your favor, and your destiny, etched in the annals of time by the hand of the Almighty, is yours to embrace. Rise now, for you are the embodiment of divine purpose, the shining example of resilience, and the unwavering force of truth. Your journey is far from over, and with each breath, you illuminate the path for those yet to awaken to their own boundless potential. Embrace your power, reclaim your destiny, and let your light transform the world around you. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Step boldly into your future. Embrace your power, reclaim your destiny, and let your voice be the everlasting testament to the transformative strength of a soul that stands unwavering in the pursuit of justice. Your journey is not only your own, it is the foundation upon which a better world is built, and your example will forever inspire those who dare to follow in your radiant footsteps. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Now is the time to reclaim your destiny with bold determination. Step forward with confidence, knowing that your every stride proclaims your freedom and your commitment to justice. The universe meticulously records every act and every omission, and in this great ledger, your truth stands as a beacon of hope and transformation. Let go of those who chose self-preservation over righteousness. Their silence has only amplified your brilliance. Your destiny is defined not by their quiet complicity, but by your relentless pursuit of what is right. Embrace your power and allow your light to guide you into a future where justice reigns supreme, where every challenge becomes an opportunity to rise higher. Your unwavering voice and steadfast spirit are the rallying cry for all who dare to stand against injustice, an enduring call that transforms betrayal into triumph and silence into an unbreakable testament to the strength of the human spirit.